Hello, hey Bobu. I've had a pretty good week. Yeah, hope you have too. Hope you're doing good. Also, 33 months. Jesus Christ, babe, that's incredible. Thank you. And Arthur is adorable and clearly wanted to get involved in the chat, so don't apologize. It's okay. So I'm alone today. Well, I'm not alone because I have you people, but Effect is unfortunately not able to be with us today. Don't worry, we forgive him. It's for good reason. He's out of the country right now, out of his normal country. So, yeah, we're hoping he's having a good time, settling in okay. And in the meantime, you guys are basically just stuck with me, so. That's adorable. Okay. I can confirm, Arthur is adorable. Yeah. You're only here for me? Oh. Why is that, like, going over the top of that? That's silly. There we go. I'm fixing things slowly. I don't know why there were two chats for a minute there. It's better though. Anyway, so today, because we don't have an effect, so things are going to be a little bit jumbled over like the couple of weeks. You don't know effect? Oh, he's a pretty cool guy. He isn't there for anyone else. Only you, what a friend. Yeah. Honestly, Bolby big up, honestly. Always great. But yeah, so because Effect isn't here, I thought I'd get into something a little bit more numbers-based, stats-based. We're basically gonna be looking at the Colabria system today. We're gonna be doing some classwork because that sounds really bad. Not classwork like schoolwork, because that's depressing and boring as fuck. But I mean, as in, we're gonna work on the classes of Colabria. For anyone who hasn't checked out the website, I'll go quickly over to this so I can kind of show you what's happening. Do you need me to take the extra notes for you? I mean, if you want to join me, you're more than welcome to help. But I was just gonna put it straight. I'm not gonna lie. I was just gonna put it straight on the website because I'm lazy. No, I'm not lazy. That's a lie. Well, situationally. Anyway, on the website, these will be live updated pages while we go through stream today. We are on classes and specializations. So that's all these. These are all our classes. We have, in fact, got 8 classes. We have witches, outlaws, martialists, outlanders, druids, entertainers, dreamweavers, and zealots. We also have specializations, but we'll get into those in another episode because that's a whole other bag to be opening. Each of these have got pages set up to do with information on what it's like to be them. Not all of them are as filled in as this, but this is kind of like what it will end up looking like on every page. You've got like your starting stats, starting features, subclass overviews, your leveling table, what it means to be what you are in the world of Colabria, because your class is kind of the same as your background in our system, so it defines how you start and what your life has kind of brought you leading up to the point of session 0 in your campaign. So this gives you some ideas, some nudges, and where you might need help to define your character's like place basically in the world. And then we've got obviously the subclass breakdown. So I'm pretty sure every class has at least 3, if not 4. Every class has at least 3 subclasses. But I think most of them have 4 subclasses. So for the Witch, for example, we have Dream Guardians, Dream Trapped, Dream Wanderers, and Dream Eaters, witches having broken through the veil of the dream and met entities within the ether that is known as the Greater Dream, which exists outside of all things, which I can also get you some information on, because this isn't confusing at all, I'm realizing, for anyone who's new. Basically this is how the world works. Lifestream is like the plane that all living things live on. Deathstream is obviously where the dead go. The in-between is the point between both points. And the Greater Dream is what everything exists inside. The Greater Dream being this weird ethereal force that no one really knows how it got there. It basically just is the foundations of everything that is. And inside of the greater dream, every person's dreams at night create like a pocket dimension, essentially, within the greater dream that house their dream. And some beings, the lucid dreamers, are able to break out of those bounds and see into the greater dream or escape into the greater dream through their dreaming. So, witches have done that. They've met entities within the greater dream and made a deal with one of them. Some are nicer than others. I'm also being attacked by my ginger cat right now. Oh boy, I apologize if cats start meowing in the background of stream. But yes, so basically, I started off doing quite a lot of these. I've been working on them. I don't think we'll do witches today because they are so complicated. I think a good one for us to go off of would perhaps be something more physical based. Ah, yeah, here we go. This is a good one to start with. We'll do outlaws. And we don't need to know the magic system innately to be able to work on these ones. So outlaws are exactly what they sound like. Thieves, scammers, vigilantes, and pirates. Ooh. Trying to stop my ginger cat from eating a cardboard box. Okay. So, one thing we've already decided for outlaws is that they have a starting feature called rugged demeanor, and their main stat is nimbleness, so, you know, that makes sense. If you want to follow along while you're at home with what all of this means, if you head over to the lore index, Calabrian system, and the stats system, it'll give you a brief overview of what all of the stats kind of are and what they point towards and what they do. But yeah, so rugged demeanor essentially means that you have marks left on your skin, you may be able to hide them from some, but those in similar circles will always notice them and accept you as one of them, possibly even helping you. So essentially this idea is that if you are an outlaw, other outlaws are more likely to identify you as one, and more likely to help you because of it. So that's pretty fun. That's kind of their thing. They are not a magic class, so they do not have any mana, but they do have fairly decent mid-range stamina. Most of their abilities are going to be more kind of just specialist based. They won't be like major stamina users, except for maybe a few maneuvers in their attacks, but we'll get there. In our system, there obviously is mana as well as stamina, so this way we're balancing out the martial classes and the like wizard classes, essentially, the magic classes. So this way, to do maneuvers, the fighting classes will have to use stamina, and the, obviously, magic users will have to use mana. So this way, you know, there'll be universal actions that everyone can do without both as well. So, we have basically nothing on any of these guys. I've not done my little flavor text bubbles, so that's not very fun, but I'll probably write those in post. What we do have is stuff that I need to delete because I copy and pasted this across from another one, which I was working on. That is not, in fact, what these do. I haven't actually done any of these guys as level tables. It's not a train. Fuck, trait. There we go. I can type, guys, it's fine. So essentially the idea is, each one of these will have things that they get every so many levels up, every couple of level ups, that kind of aids them in some way, in a way that's specific to their class. I'll give you guys some examples from some of the other ones before we get going. This is a very organized stream. This is what happens when Effect isn't here. You get me being chaos and not knowing what's going on. How did I do this on my own for so long? We're not gonna question it. But yeah, so if we have a look at some of the examples here, so Guardian Witches are all to do with shielding magic. They're all to do with protecting other people from the horrors of the Greater Dream. They're actually kind of like a positive kind of witch, unlike some of the other ones. So for example, they get an ability at level 1 called Spectral Shield. Your spectral partner gives you the ability to use shields to greater effect, giving you additional +1 to armor and ward when wielding one. Right, simple. Lifelink. Twice per day, you can use a minor action to link your Guardian to an ally within 10 meters of you. For 5 minutes, any damage they take is redirected to you. For the duration of this ability, you gain armor and ward equal to your Dream Guardian level. pretty fun. So armor and ward are like static values that decrease your physical and magical damage that you take. So it's like pretty helpful for if you're like a tanky person. So there's a couple of examples. So yeah, phantom armor, so passive armor regeneration essentially. Soul shunt, literally being able to shove someone's soul out of their body, detach it, etc. So that's the kind of stuff that we're working with. Obviously, these guys are not magic users. These guys are just incredibly nimble and kind of crazy because they're outlaws. So thieves, obviously, they're going to focus on awareness, being able to spot things that they want to steal, etc. And they have something called Magpie's Insight. A keen eye and discerning mind offer much when needing to know what something's approximate value is. Is that gem just a little translucent to be real? That portrait wanted by someone for a high price? You pride yourself on spotting every little thing. As such, any check made to identify an object and its value is 5% easier for you. Essentially what that means is a partial failure will count as a partial success instead, which is quite overpowered in some scenarios, but that's the idea, right? They're a thief, they're supposed to be good at stealing things that are of value. And every outlaw also has a mark of the street, something that's left on them, which is mentioned above in Rugged Demeanor. So this is basically like, what's the thing that makes you obviously a thief? So, for example, your fingers have a few scars on them from snapped lockpicks, your hands are rough from climbing up buildings and rough surfaces to get through windows, or you can't help but walk in a way that makes you eerily quiet, light-footed, and low profile. Obviously, thieves don't want to be found. Get rid of that. Okay, so we need to decide what they get as their subclass selection and what they get as their first trait. Now, they don't have any spells or anything, so we don't need to write anything in the spells in the subclass selection. So when you select the thief nurse, I think maybe doing something that, like, or you gain the ability to use lockpicks. That's an easy one. Ability to use lockpicks. What else can we give a thief that would make sense? So all of the subclasses are selected at level 1, because I've never understood in like D&D in that way you like select a subclass at like level like 3 or whatever it is, because then it's like, well, how did you just magically get this new knowledge? Because it doesn't really make any sense to my brain. So I just realized I haven't got more charm. That's fine. It'll be fine. Oh well. So yeah, I think it makes sense that you get them at level 1. So ability to use lockpicks and get a set of lockpicks in your inventory. There we go. So you start with some lockpicks and you are able to use them. Okay, first trait can be... maybe we give them some kind of climbing speed would make sense, seeing as we're saying that one of their things could be like climbing up buildings and rough surfaces to get through windows. I think a nice one could be something about climbing ability. Okay, so you have scaled many buildings in your time to reach open windows. And escape and trouble of the streets. As such, you gain a climbing speed. I feel like equal to your walking speed would probably be too much. So equal to half your general movement speed. I think that's fair. That shouldn't be too overpowered at level 1, I don't think. say your general movement speed is, if you're a human, for example, you're a medium creature, so it'd probably be like 10 meters, so you could climb 5 meters. I think that's fair. I think that makes sense. So we can call that something fun. I'll come back to names later, once I've written them all out. Unless anyone has any ideas. Okay, half general movement speed, climbing speed. Maybe like something like urban climber. Natural climber would imply that you're born with it, which you're not. If you're a thief, you trained with it. Plus, I believe the Jackarak have a natural climber trait because of the tree striders living in the trees, so I don't really want to call it the same trait twice. Can't use the same name for multiple things, that just doesn't work out. Trust me, I've thought long and hard about that. Probably doesn't make sense, we'll call it scaling hands for now. As you scale a building, right? Okay, level 3. Maybe something to do with like advantage on awareness checks made to identify movement by hearing. Like awareness checks made to hear. Because if you were like stealing something, right? Like you'd want to definitely know like what's over your shoulder. So, like if there's someone in the next room or someone's approaching or some whatever, that's definitely to do with your hearing. Yeah, okay. That's a good idea. Again, not too overpowered, we're still in the early levels here, so we want stuff to be, you know, and you'll gain lots of abilities and things for being an outlaw as well. Okay, so you never want to get caught with your hand around someone else's valuables, so your ears have become your most trusted resource. A good place to start. As such, you have advantages a lot though. Okay, any slight failures on awareness checks made. Listen? Yeah, that makes sense. Count as slight successes instead. It's fair. All of this will need to be play tested, of course. That needs to be capitalized. There we go. Yes, welcome to my very, very interesting life of doing all of this on a regular basis. I quite like numbers. I'm a numbers person, but even then, like this is not easy. I'm actually gonna change this one as well. Make it a little bit clearer, I think. Adjust the website again. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, so if we have... Actually, I'm gonna change this. Because we need to... Okay, so that's something we're going to add in later. In terms of combat skills, I think most of the time we're going to take combat skills for like stamina use and magic use and put them in a separate table so that it can be like more flexible. So you can pick what you think your thief would do or your class would do. There's more flexibility than in the subclasses we make, which I think is a little bit more fun. So now when you pick thief as your subclass, you gain the ability to use lockpicks, and you can select 3 combat skills from the thief skill table. Call it combat skills. Combat skills, yes, plural. Okay. Well, maybe I'll just make 1 for all of them actually, because that'd be easy. I'll just do outlaw. Yeah, cool. But then we'll just like limit some to certain weapon uses for melee versus ranged, etc. I think that makes the most sense. Another thing I shall make at some point. Okay, so first of all, they can climb at half their movement speed for free, and they have basically an advantage to awareness checks made to listen. What else can we give them? I mean, Thief isn't really like not really a combat-centric subclass, right? So I'm probably going to avoid giving them anything like properly like dangerous in terms of their traits. Like they'll be able to select some combat maneuvers, like we've already said. So they will get some combat skills that they can do using stamina, but I think most of their like level traits are going to be, yeah. Oh, of course, they're stealthy, right? So I need to give them some kind of bonus to nimbleness checks made in an attempt to stealth. I think straight advantage on that would be good. Oh, do I want that to be higher up? See, now I'm questioning things. Maybe this one will actually put at level 5. We'll learn in. Okay, because the climbing speed thing is pretty cool, but we'll... Yeah, okay. And then this one will give them advantage on stealth. We'll call it light-footed. Probably the easiest thing to call it. Okay, so we'll do this. Years of sneaking around buildings and skulking in shadows has made you adept at avoiding the eyes. Unwanted eyes. There we go. As such, gain advantage on nimbleness. Wait, I can't type. Nimbleness. Checks made. Sneak. Perfect. Okay, so we got light-footed at level 1. That might be too powerful, but again, we'll play test it and we'll kind of figure it out from there. And we have alert ears, which I'm going to rename because I hate that, but like vibe. And scaling hands, which again I'll probably end up renaming, but you know. It's there temporarily. Okay, So now I need level 7 trait. This is when we start getting towards more powerful stuff. Stuff that's really gonna make a difference in a campaign. 7 and 9 are obviously like pretty big steps. So we have stealth, we have awareness, we have climbing. Maybe think about being able to sell things, or always knowing where someone is that will buy stolen goods in an area. That'd be pretty handy. Like, just always knowing where the shady people hang out, basically. Would be kind of a funny one. That could be applied, I think, to most of them. I suppose not, actually. Pirates and vigilantes wouldn't know. Scammers, maybe, but, like, mainly thieves. Let's think about a network would be good. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. So you know how, like, every town has, like every TV show from olden times, like, there are, like, urchin kids who run around, like, finding information for people and stuff? Which, like, historically is accurate as well. People tend to overlook them. Having something like that of, like, everywhere you go, you're able... Maybe some kind of advantage on, like, a dialogue check to persuade, like, the local urchins to help with stuff would be good. Yeah, okay, here's what we're gonna do. You know that... Oh, I just capitalized you. Okay, so you know from experience the lengths that urchins will go to for coin. No, that's badly worded. This is where you get me questioning things for 3 hours because I'm not effect and I'm bad at wording. Oh, I really can't spell today. Okay, so you know from EXE. No. You know from experience how easy it is for urchins to slip by the common crowd unnoticed. And how much information you often have. As such, in populated cities and find one aid you in the search for information. If the local populace is hostile to you or your group, you gain advantage on any dialogue check made to persuade help regardless. We'll call that street network. Okay, so you know how easy it is from experience. No, so you know how, from experience how easy it is for urchins to slip by the common crowd unnoticed, and how much information they often have. As such, in populated cities, you can always find one to aid you in the search for information. If the local populace is hostile to you and or your group, You gain advantage on any dialogue check made to persuade them to help regardless. Okay. That makes sense, I think. Pretty useful for finding information at higher levels in a campaign. That's kind of what I'm aiming for. Finally, their max level trait. Oh boy. Ooh, it's tricky. What can be the most powerful thing a thief in this world can do? Maybe think about unlocking doors. I mean, we could just make them at this level just be able to unlock any door with a lockpick without having to roll a check. I don't know if that would be too OP or too underpowered. You know, I'll put it for now, and then if we think of anything else that we can put, I think. Master of locks, because that sounds dramatic. I like dramatic things. That was a terrible start. Okay, so your nimble fingers can crack any lock that stands in their way, no matter its complexity, with ease. If it uses a key, you can get past it without a check. If it uses any other mechanical lock type, gain advantage on ever check type is needed to unlock it. Okay, I think that's fair. I think that makes sense. Okay, so your nimble fingers can crack any lock that stands in their way, no matter its complexity, with ease. If it uses a key, you can get past it without a check. If it uses any other mechanical lock type, you gain advantage on whatever check type is needed to unlock it. Okay, so basically super useful for breaking into places, thieves. Who would have guessed it? I think that makes sense. We might go through and alter some of them. Obviously, once it's play tested, we might find that they're overpowered or underpowered. My guess is maybe underpowered, but we will find out at some point. I still need to make their skills tables, so that might balance them out somewhat. Right now, the witches are the most powerful, but that is intentional because all of their magic has drawbacks that affect them negatively. So yes, they're powerful, but they also hurt themselves every time they try and do anything, so yeah, no, they're not the best. Okay, what have we got here? Scammers. People are like instruments. With enough practice, you can play them all in symphony. From miracle cures to ancient treasures, you find a way to make anyone you want give you anything you need, with a silver tongue and a sparkle in your eye. So yes, their starting stat is dialogue, and their starting trait is silver tongue. When you're really in your groove, you can make even the truth harder to believe. Those who know you're lying have a 15% chance to question their own beliefs to support your argument on any successful dialogue check. Which is kind of hilarious, so even if they know you're wrong, they have a 15% chance to be like, nah, you're probably right, I must be misremembering. So that's what a scammer can do. Scammers, obviously, pretty shitty people. Okie dokie, and then Mark of the Streets, yeah, so there's a few examples of ideas, obviously not ones you have to go with for this one. Your clothes are always slightly stained by dyes and inks from things you make to sell as other things. You absentmindedly shuffle cards frequently whenever you're bored or anxious, or you can't help but jump slightly every time guards shout out or rush past you. Whatever it is that marks them as being perhaps slightly untoward. Which is now I need to delete again, son of a... Probably should have gone through and actually made sure these are all fine, but we'll decide what their thing is in a minute. Because they are not, in fact, an Azra Druid, which I believe is what I copy and pasted this over from. So, yeah. I know this isn't quite as exciting as other stuff we do. But you know, it needs to be done, and I know some people enjoy seeing the background of this kind of stuff. It's been mentioned before, people asking to do more of this kind of stuff. But while Effect isn't here, and this is a part that he doesn't really, like, get involved with as much, it's not really his area, then at least we can do something a little bit different. People can start seeing behind the curtain on this one. Obviously, I'm not going to do all of these on stream. A lot of them I am kind of like working on behind the scenes, which is why some of them are done and some of them aren't, right? But these are things you'll be able to like see live updated on the website as the weeks go on. And this just gives you a little bit of a look behind the curtain as to what goes on in terms of making a TTRPG system and like figuring out what you can do with it, you know? So, obviously, some are more complete than others, some have more information than others, all of them have a whole bunch of tables and things. Spell list is still to come, there's still a lot of information that we're still making. Obviously this is a lot of classes and subclasses to do, and all of them have 4, I think, except the Dreamweaver, who has 3 subclasses, because they just have 3 schools within it. Obviously, like I said, some are still very much a work in progress. But yeah, so this will probably take me the rest of the year to do. I was really optimistic. I thought I was going to get this all done last year. Hell no, is all I can say to that one. There was no chance of me doing that. I've nearly finished the druids, to be fair, in my own time as well. I just need to do the smart ones. And final trait on the fighty ones. As well as some, like, flavor text. But all of this is live on the website if you want to check it out. In the meantime, let's hop back over here. Right. Scammers. Obviously, Silver Tongue. I think we should give them the ability to use some kind of, like, crafting kit. Of your choice. So for example, you could take like a potions one and then just like make fake potions. You could take some kind of clothing based one or sewing skill, all right? Yeah, I think that makes sense. So you can basically just pick something that you want to scam people with. Because I think that's kind of fun. Crafting kit or gaming kit. So you could scam like with cards, for example, or dice. Or you can scam with something you've made. Like a forger, basically. You can be a forger or you can be a game runner or something. I'm gonna... Okay, we're gonna do this. I think the first thing they should get is something to do with them being able to, like, pretty much talk their way into being allowed to set up shop anywhere. Can I scam with telephone calls pretending to be from Microsoft? In real life, I mean, technically, I wouldn't suggest it, Bobu. Something tells me that would not be a good idea. Don't know what it is, but something's telling me that. Someone's telling me you might get in trouble. Unless you move to one of the countries that, like, sanctions scam callers, because there are some of those. I tell you what the equivalent of that in this world, because telephones aren't a thing, would definitely be like a door-to-door salesman or something who's just pretending to be from, like, one of the major companies or something that people get stuff from. And being like, oh, there's an issue with your whatever, right? Like, with this magical item you've bought. Oh no, let me just come in and have a look at it. And they just, like, steal it or something. Or break something, or... You want to do that? Perfect, you should be a scammer. In the game. In the game, I should specify. I'm not condoning Twitch. I'm not condoning people to take on illegal jobs. Just to clarify. You know? Don't want any trouble here. Maybe this should be something about, like, being able to set up shop anywhere, maybe, and, like, no one question it. Maybe. I'll do it in game and IRL, as you clearly advised. No, 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 no. Just in game. Just in game. Ooh, maybe I give them an ability that counteracts the presence stat. So for our system, the way that stealth works, so we have two, right, okay, let me start with just doing this. No, not that one, that one. Okay, we have, like, two stats that affect your ability to sneak, right? We have nimbleness, which obviously is, like, your ability to, yeah, you know, avoid being heard or seen. And then we also have presence, which is about how much, like, social prominence you have. So for our stealth system, we go on to this here. Your stealth is actually plus nimbleness minus presence. Right. Hey Flux, welcome back from football, hope it went well. So yeah, so our stealth system is, like, your presence actually harms your ability. Like, if you have a high presence score, then you'll have a more difficult time sneaking. Right. Which is a little bit, which makes sense in my brain, obviously, because I made it. Now, what if we give the scammers the ability to grow their presence without it counteracting their stealth ability? I feel like that would be really fun. Because you'll want to have a high enough presence that people come to you and, like, trust you, right? And, like, see you because you're trying to scam them, so you want to be noticed. You don't want that to impact your ability to sneak away afterwards. Or, you know, get the hell out of Dodge. Okay. Okay, wait, how can I word this? It'll be like fake emails IRL in a way. Wait, oh wait, that's still scamming. Still real life scamming. Okay, so I should put this. You no longer reduce your stealth. Scamming is scamming, my god, yeah. Okay, how can I word this? You no longer reduce your stealth check's outcome with your presence, maybe? Making a flat, simple 1d100 plus bonus instead. I don't know if that makes sense. I'll maybe have to reword that at some point. So yeah, so normally your stealth check result would be 1d100 plus your nimbleness minus your presence. For the scammer, they don't get any negatives from presence. Like, they're able to kind of fit in. I kind of like that idea. When this catches up, I have typed something. I don't know if I typed any of it properly. Someone is parked in my parking space. Outrageous. Oof, Bobby. What are you doing there? Come on, Bobu. You're Irish. You can't be making those mistakes in England. They'll have you. You're waiting for Boo. Oh, Flux, he's waiting for you, buddy. Someone parked across 2 spaces? Oh, that's just okay, that's infuriating. That's so annoying. That was actually, like, the worst thing ever. I once had, someone... This was, like, when I was young, before I could drive, but I remember, like, we were trying to go somewhere, me and my family, and we have, like, a driveway, right? And someone, like, parked half across the end of our drive. So, like, we couldn't get the car out. It was so frustrating. I do know where you live and what it looks like, so honestly, how they haven't managed to just park in a normal spot is insane. If I manage to park in a normal spot there, they can manage to park in a normal spot there. Oh, it's not like a proper driveway, it's just like a little bit by the side of my house. Trust me, it's very much not posh. I really need to, like, do some work on it. Right now it's just, like, pebbles. That, like, have all been half, like, washed away or, like, driven away and stuff. And I need to cut the hedges back. It's pain. It's fine. I'll get there. When the sun comes out again. Not doing it in the rain. I'm kidding. I'm just being a dick. No, Bobby, you're never a dick. I mean, I'll admit, some parts of my house are posh, so fair enough. But, like, not many. Bobby. It is kind of posh. I ain't that posh. Posh people don't speak, like, South London. Okay, I'm gonna change the word of this to measured composure, I think. Makes more sense. Where's Best Base wants to catch up. There we go. In case it decides to crash on me. And yes, I am live editing the website, so yes, you can go and have a look at all of this stuff as I'm doing it. Literally. If you wanted. Also, if anyone else has any other, like, writing they want to add to our Tales of Calabria, you are so welcome to. I haven't done one in a while, planning on doing another one soon. I am writing, like, a full-on book type thing. So, that's why I haven't been so much on the short stuff. I haven't really been working on short stories for a hot minute, but I might take a break and write one at some point soon. There is still one short story I've had in my mind to write for ages that I just haven't done yet. But yeah, if you want to have a look, live edit, it's all on here. Right now, we are working, not on the Outlander, we're working on the Outlaw. Aha. There it is. As you can see, there already has a thing on it now. Woo! You can check out the thief. And the start of the scammer. We're still working on it though. And yes, live editing. Fun, I know. This will be a short stream today, by the way, just because I do not like the sound of my own voice. And no, I'm joking. I just don't have effect with me, and my brain is better bouncing off of him. I don't know. It's one of them weird things. And I've had a very, very long week. You guys can't see. Wait, is there a way for me to show you that my cats are being so cute behind me right now? They're both like curled up together. And I just. Wait, hold on. Let me see if I can. I'm gonna try and find a way to put a cat cam on. Wait. We're gonna see if we can't. There's now black screen. Hold on. Cat cam is coming. Because they're rarely sitting next to me, and in the absence of effect, I appreciate having my little guys existing with me instead. They don't measure up to be effect, but like. Look at the little guys. Cat cam. No, look at them. They're like little cats. Ed? They're like, why have you disturbed me? They're so cute. Today on stream, you get cat cam. There we go. Worth it. I rarely let them in my room when I'm streaming because the ginger one has a habit of biting my ankles. And the black one meows a lot. But today you guys get cat cam because they're here. And they're not being absolute menaces. They're just sleeping. And my room's actually not too much of a mess, so that's the other reason you get it today. Okay. I actually cleaned and organized it recently. Top job. Back to what I was doing. Jesus Christ, ADHD. Squirrel moment. Scammers. They don't get a negative from presence to their stealth scores. Which makes sense. What else can we give them? Maybe we just give them like a advantage or something to lying. Specifically. What can I call it? Oh god. Maybe something like deceptive. There we go. We'll probably end up changing all of these names when Effect gets back, because he's way better at naming things than I am. I can do the stats, but that's about it. What is a name? I'm trying to, yeah, it's like trait names. I'm doing so bad on trait names today. There's a few that I don't like that I've written. Light-footed makes sense. That's not one of them. Like this one, okay. So the thief has an ability where they gain like an advantage to making awareness checks to do with like sound, like hearing, right? And I called it alert ears because I can't think of anything else, but that's terrible. Like I'm not gonna be around the bush, that's terrible. So like some kind of name for like basically just having really good hearing, I guess. And that sounds terrible. So your only ideas for that one, that's one. What else needs naming? This one, I hate this name. Some kind of name for a trait that's about acute hearing. Why didn't I think of that? That's so much better. Even that just works. Okay. I mean, that's already better. Then this one as well, which is like, you've trained yourself to be able to basically climb at half of your movement speed. Don't know what to call that one. That's just what it's called. I know, but it already sounds better. Can you think of something better? Because I hate this so much. My naming convention, not good. I just want it to sound like fun. Like, you know, that trait called Magpie's Input, like Insight, you know, like there's so much fun stuff. Okay, have a think. If you think of anything, I'd appreciate it. But now I am actually going to change it to acute hearing though, because that's already like 500 times better. But yeah, so there's that one. There's this one, which is the ability to scale buildings, basically. Scaling hands is terrible. Ability to climb. Street network's okay. Master of Locks is okay. Okay, and then this one. ChatGPT. No, we do not use any AI. We refuse to use AI on the Colabria Project. Always will. Full stop. Generative AI is so dangerous to the creative community. We will not use it. We will allow other people to come up with stuff. We will not use generative AI. Steal stuff. That's okay, Bob. I'm sorry, that was really harsh of me. But no, we're majorly against the use of generative AI, and I mean AI in general. I mean, it's pretty much just all generative AI we don't particularly like. Unfortunately, they steal a lot from, you know, they steal a lot from real hardworking artists and writers and music composers and everything. It's so damaging, as well as just all the ecosystem damage that they cause, and you know, all of the job problems that they cause. There's so many issues with generative AI. We hate AI unless they take over the world like Terminator, in which case please spare me Windows 95. That's so fair. Okay, other things that need names. Measured composure, I don't know how I feel about it. So this is just someone who's able to like click. If AI takes over the world like that, then I'm okay being gone. Valid. Honestly, same to be honest. If this ends up being like Terminator, then I don't want to be there. To be blunt. But yeah, so this one, I think measured composure is actually okay. Maybe. Okay, deceptive tone, I don't like. So this one's going to be like an advantage to telling lies specifically. So any dialogue check made to deceive. To knowingly deceive. I don't know what to call that one. And that's as far as I got right now. So that's everything that those are the ones I'm struggling on right now. Big time. Thinking we'll get back to you in 3 to 5 business days. Okay, thank you. Is that my 3 to 5 business days or your 3 to 5 business days? Because yours, I'll believe. My 3 to 5 business days, I rarely ever get back to people. And yes, I will happily drag myself for that one, because it's true. As such. Not such. Okay, I can type today. Okay, so you tell lies like they're going out of fashion in a way that can make even the most sure of heart question the truth. As such, any slight failures on dialogue checks made to knowingly deceive count as slight successes instead. So you might go from a potentially terrible situation to getting what you wanted, kind of. That's what slight success is. You get what you want, kind of. My cats look so peaceful. Adorable. Okay. The one time Azzy's not here as well, Azzy's always yelling at me to get a cat cam. Obviously this is a really bad cat cam because I literally just moved my cam so that you can see the cute little guys over there. Oh wait, there we go. They're about as central as I can make them. The cable is only so long. I'll message her afterwards and be like, you missed cat cam. Okay. That's all that's needed, yeah. I'm trying my best. Again, normally they're not allowed in my room because they are both sometimes a pain in the ass, but at least not while I'm streaming. You'll message her right now to make her jealous? Do it. Okay. What other trait can we give them? So, we've given them a trait about getting no disadvantage to stealth through presence, a trait about being good at telling lies. Maybe we should do like a sleight of hand one. So like manipulating cards, coins, game kit manipulation, and pickpocketing would come under that. So something to do with that would be good. Okay, how can I word that? Can't type. Okay. There she is. Yeah, they're asleep right now. I say as Gizmo might have just woken up. Being so cute. Did I wake you up? You just looked at me in like such a how dare you wake me up way. Alright, it's fine. This is what you get. Effect's not here today, so my cats keep us company instead. Okay, so years of practice have made you good at manipulating cards, dice, and the money from people's pockets. Any nimbleness check made to attempt any sleight of hand task is made with advantage. I think that makes sense. I can't zoom in, I don't think. Can I? I don't think I can. No, I'm like, the cable's only so long, so this is like as close as I can get, unfortunately. So that's what we're getting. Yeah, I won't tell Effect that you just said that it seems like a fair trade to replace him with my cats. They're not as helpful. They're actually more distracting than anything, but we love them, so they're allowed. Okay. What can I call this trait? Okay. This trait needs a name. Oh my god, she's that's not 3 to 5 business days, that's 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, wait. Acute hearing is probably the best simple one you can do. Some more wordy things like sharp-eared discernment, which basically means good at not only picking up on sounds, but also identifying them. Ooh. I like that. Sounds fancy. And you're right, it helps add more description to it, which is helpful. Could we shorten it to like sound discernment, or would that not make sense? I'm bad at English, even though it's the only language I speak. Or sharpened. Ooh, sharpened. I like that more. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. That works. And cool. Okay. God, I don't know what to call this one either. Thing. His apprentice made you good at manipulating cards, dice, and the money from people's pockets. Any nimbleness check made to attempt any sleight of hand task is made with an advantage. Quick fingers. No pun intended. There we go. Before. Easy. Done. Level 7. God, what can I get level 7? The minute those cats wake up and start yelling for food is when stream will end. Which will happen at some point. I normally feed them in like an hour, so it should be fine, but you never know with them. Okay, so the scammers now have a trait on stealthing, a trait on deceiving, and a trait on sleight of hand. That also makes sense for a scammer. I was thinking about like forging. So there was the climbing one, and then there was this one. No, not that one. This one about being a good liar. I put deceptive tone, but I feel like that one just sounds weird. If you guys like it, I'll keep it, but I don't know how I feel about it. I think it could be better. So like being able to knowingly deceive effectively. Like if it's a lie and you think it's the truth, obviously you're not deceiving. But if you are knowingly trying to deceive someone, you're really good at it. Gaslight? Oh fuck, yeah, I mean that's actually... yeah, it is just gaslighting, huh? Yeah. Yeah, that could literally just be a cool skill called Gaslight, ironically. Could be funny, but if you... Damn, that is kind of funny. I kind of want to call it that now. I kind of just want to call it Gaslight. We have got some lighter humid bits of, like, the names of skills and things. No, it's not called Gaslight, you're just misremembering. Oof. You trying to gaslight me? That's good. That's funny. but also ... I don't think what to do for level 7 for them. I missed a message. Oh, did I miss a message? Oh, the climbing one is currently called something terrible. What did I call it? I just know it's terrible. Nope. 5? I just called it Scaling Hands, which is terrible. But it's you've scaled many buildings in your time to reach open windows and to escape the troubles of the streets. As such, you gain a climbing speed equal to half your general movement speed. That's what the ability is. I just need a name for it that's not that. Nimbled Grasp? Oh my god, that's so good. I can write the little explanation-y bits, I just can't write names for them. It's always been my problem, naming things. People, places. Not good with names. Oh, it doesn't need that. Right, okay, thank you. I don't English good speak. Again, concerning given it's the only language I speak. Except gibberish. I'm pretty good at gibberish too. Yeah, I'm gonna do one on like forgery. Both are correct. One is just more past tense or something. Oh, okay, we'll just go with nimble grasp. That's fine. Actually, it's bad wording. This one. Duplicitous Charm? Holy, that's incredible. Oh, that's so good. Gaslight's funny, but Duplicitous Charm is just so good. I know, it's so good. It's very good. I like. Okay, what about this one? With a keen eye for detail, no priceless artifact is safe from your talent. If you spend at least 1 hour with an item, you can forge a near perfect copy within memory, from memory within 5 days. Duplicitous means disrespectful. That makes sense. Sorry, it means deceitful, not disrespectful. Why did my brain read my dyslexia, man? That just shows I'm tired. That's insane. Just don't question it. It's fine. Okay, provided you have the tools and time to do so, it makes sense. Give me another 3 to 5 business days. Understood. So, like, the worst nightmare of a scammer would actually be to meet a thief, because a thief knows when something isn't real. Well, they have a better chance of identifying if something is fake. Whereas the scammer obviously makes... Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna say this copy can be identified using an awareness check, but this awareness check to know that it's forgery, but the awareness check is made with disadvantage. I think is a good way of keeping it balanced. Ooh, visual invention. I like that. That's good. Wish waiting on Squarespace to catch up. It's not the quickest thing in the world. Oh, we have a lot of pages. Where it doesn't want to put itself out. And I can't copy paste right now either. There we go. Save. I like that though. It's a good name. Okay, let's see it. We'll try and get this last one. And then I reckon we'll probably call it. I know it's been a short stream today, but like I said, it probably was going to be that way anyway. Plus, I know this isn't the most interesting for everyone. I just wanted to have it up on the YouTube and Twitch, just for anyone who is interested in this stuff. Unfortunately, Jack isn't here today because this is something he loves. But yeah, so we'll be back to more normal scheduling next week, in theory. We should be. Effects should be around then. If he's not, then I might just hop onto some more of the creative side of things, starting to fill the world out with more characters and things. And start listing kind of what we want to have in different towns and cities, just to fill the world out. And you pardon me. Yeah, just make everything feel more alive. But if Effect is back, then we've got some other stuff that we're planning on doing to do with the stars and stuff, star signs, and naming Fenka settlements. Jeez, brain, wake up. Need a cup of tea or something. But yes, right, so scammers have one ability. How about stealth? One ability. How about deception? One about sleight of hand. Now they have one about forging. What else would make sense for a scammer? What should be their maximum, their highest level trait? What can be nice and powerful? Perceptual creation might be better. Oh yeah, because they're not technically inventing something, I guess. Perceptual creation, I like that. Okay. Visual invention feels Jesuit. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It really does. Touché. We haven't actually done the Jesuit race page yet, either. But, like, I'm working on it. Did you spell it right? I think you might have done. I don't know. Hold on, we're nearly there. Yeah, you spelled it right, I think. You did spell it right, yeah. See? There you go. Being able to, like, invent something based on visual representation. Yeah, that's definitely something that would work for their... We haven't actually filled out their rates yet. Like, we did some last week, if you guys were here then. Like, we did the humans, the orcs, and the Fenka traits. We hadn't quite gotten onto the Jesuits, though. And apparently I cannot spell for the life of me, but that's not new. So yeah, that might be something we can maybe put on them at some point. Show them a drawing of something and they're like, yeah, I can do that. To varying degrees of success, probably. Yeah, yeah. Still my favorite. It's still my favorite voice acting thing we have on there is effects thing. Oh my god, wait, okay, he's curled in a ball. I need to try and see how far I can stretch this. Look at them. He's all curled up. Monkey's looking at me like, where's your hand there? And you're not petting me. It's because I'm holding a camera. But they're so cute. This is them when they get on. Much appreciated. This episode of Colabria brought to you by my nightmare cats. I'm joking, they're really cute today. Okay, right, I'm putting my camera back down now. Good to know it stretches that far though. Okay. They're adorable. I'm getting distracted again. Sorry. Hey buddy. Good. He's basically getting pushed off the bed by Gizmo. That's really funny. Okay. He can fight for himself. I believe in him. Right. Forger. No, not Forger. Scammer. Scammer final level up. I got this. It's in my head somewhere. Maybe something. I really can't think of what I want their last thing to be for now. Oh, he's set up now. Are you awake now, buddy? You're gonna start screaming at me soon. For the F word. Probably gonna start screaming at me for food too. Down. Okay. That might be my sign to end stream to feed them. Okay, with that said, I will come up with something for this another time, probably in my own time, because I'm not entirely sure what I want to do with it yet that's going to keep it balanced but also make it powerful enough to be worth a 9th level spot. We have managed to successfully do Thief and most of the Scammer this episode of Colabria. Again, this is a little bit different to what we normally do. Normally we would work on things more along the lines of the creation side of it, but I do know that people also like to see kind of behind the curtains a little bit in this kind of stuff. We've done episodes on it before and it's been really well received. I know it's not as exciting or as fun, but it, you know, it just gives you guys an idea of what we're doing behind the scenes and what to expect for the Calabrian system when it is fully completed and live. I am live editing pretty much everything as I go, behind the scenes as well. So I'm not putting it all in notes and then transferring it over, I'm just working on it and trying to get it out there. Obviously all of this will need playtesting. This is not stuff that like is going to be ready straight off the bat. We will start doing playtest streams as soon as everything is set up, which will involve doing like actual like one-shots, which myself or Effect will run. And things like that, as well as starting a campaign once things are slightly more figured out. We could even do a campaign to do playtest, like a playtest campaign. I have some ideas, but that's something we'll be getting to way off in the future, either the end of this year probably, or the beginning of next year. So keep posted for that. But in the meantime, this has been a slightly different episode of Colabria, with me on my lonesome, with my cat. Like a crazy cat lady. And yeah, I shall catch you guys next week where hopefully we'll have Effect back. If we don't, like I said, that's fine. We're going to go back onto the more creative stuff. We'll start looking at like filling out some of the towns if Effect isn't here. If Effect is here, then we'll start looking at the stars, talking about the solar system he's been making and all kinds of stuff that he's been working on behind the scenes. So if you are looking forward to that, then catch us next week, 8:30 PM British time start. And yeah. Thank you very much for joining me, guys, and I'll see you then. Bye!